Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show where I bring you champion people who bring you particular knowledge and help you to get to the next level of your greatness. It can be spiritually, it can be financially, it can be physically. And today we're going to talk about wellness. We're going to focus our conversation on wellness. My guest is based in the US and has quite an interesting profile. I think it's kind of a new profile for us, for the audience. He is helping women lose weight and regain control of their life through daily personalized support. So if we have women in the audience, please, come in and ask question. And he's also a model, he's a commercial actor, an environmental activist, and a certified personal trainer and fitness nutrition specialist. So we'll get the opportunity to talk about, to look at wellness, on different angles. And I'm not gonna, spend a lot of time introducing him. He's gonna have the opportunity to introduce himself. His name is Philip Magan, and we'll certainly have a great conversation today. And as usual, I ask you, if you're watching live, to come in, ask question, participate, because like I said, the show is for you to get those information that you're looking for. And I actually urge you to get a paper and pen and write down whatever you're going to learn today, with the intention to implement later on. But before we get to this stage, I'm just going to bring Philip, and hopefully, you'll get to learn a lot from him today. So don't go anywhere. Get ready. Let us know where you're watching from, and get your paper and your pen ready to start, writing, because I'm pretty sure you're going to learn a lot today. So let's go. Another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Birai Telekima Global Leadership Organization.
Feel is important is if you just look at the word compassion, when it's behavior, it's something that can be learned, and it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily actions.
Like, what can I do now with this all experiences that that I have? And for me, it's knowing who I am, believing in myself, and trust, and have confidence that yes, this has happened.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
I was getting my first computer when I went into undergrad, right? And so I think that stick with what you're passionate about. And if you're passionate about learning technology, you're in a great space, because technology touches every industry.
So welcome, Philip. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. Nice music. I always,
Oh,
like to start with, the music to put, a little bit of, positive energy into the platform.
I
So,
love
I
it.
mean, I'm so excited to have, to have you, to host you today and to talk about wellness. And I think it's a subject that we all relate to, especially right now with people coming out of being on lockdown or coming out of
Mhm.
lockdown and suffering from any kind of disease. So before we get to the exciting part of the show, just want you to introduce yourself and let us know who you are, what you do, and anything that you feel like the audience must know about you.
Oh, okay. Well, first off, thanks for having me on here. I definitely love the intro there with the music. It definitely sets the tone, and I think I was vibing out. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, a little bit about me. I am a certified personal trainer and a fitness nutrition specialist. I'm also a model and commercial actor. And right now, my passion is helping people lose weight and regain control of their lives. I love to really give my wisdom away. That's the best way to put it, is of what I've learned along my journey. I wasn't always at this point in my life. I did a lot of self growth over the past, 6, 7 years. And now I want to give it back to others and save them the same struggles I went through, save them time, save them energy. So that's the short version of who I am.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. That's a very short version, but we'll get the opportunity to know a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I know you alluded to it. You alluded to the fact that you had to go through very difficult moment in your life, and that's what led you to what you're doing right now. So, what was really the hurdle, and how did you overcome all of this to get, to change your mindset and change your situation as well, because right now, I mean, you look healthy to me and happy. So
Thank you.
what did you do to to get to this to this state of mind and to this
Yeah.
physical state as well?
Okay. Yeah. No, I'd love to share that. So about what are we in 2021 here? So about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I was running my own business, a party bus company at the time, and uh, with that comes the whole lifestyle of being in the party scene a lot. And there was many moments during that business where uh, I was just very numb to what maybe I needed, and
Mm-hmm.
that came through the partying, the drinking or whatever. And it's hard to kind of really see and navigate out of that when you're in that, and that's the environment you're kind of surrounding yourself with. But I think the real moment of change is when I started really kind of paying attention to those little small desires that I had, of
Mm-hmm.
when I actually I wasn't numb and I could like feel a little bit. I'd be like, well, maybe this is guiding me, and maybe I should lean into that feeling a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much the starting point. Is,
Mm-hmm.
if someone is looking to reformat their life in a grander scale, and you're kind of fed up with the things that you're doing and how you're operating, you need to lean into the desire that because you know best, your body knows best. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't tend to listen to it enough, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
We try to look outside for all the answers. We're looking at anything online, or we're trying to go other people. We're trying to find the answers outside of ourselves. But it's really, if we take the time and to listen to ourselves, that's where I think a lot of the magic will happen. But you have to
Mm-hmm.
take the time. That's really where my growth journey started. And I think when you take the time and you start aligning with it more, you keep it
Mm-hmm.
in the forefront of your head. Maybe it's not super easy at first, but you're not giving up. At least you're trying, and you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure it out. So by you understanding what it is that you desire, and maybe it isn't as super clear, just by putting forth effort is moving you forward, whether you see that or not, because maybe before you weren't actually trying. If you're not trying actively to get out of the position you're in, then you're just going to be stuck in the same spot.
And that's something that we really need to advocate. People, like you said, are looking outside for something outside. They don't take time to sit down to listen to, to do a self evaluation and be aware of what, how they come across, how do they feel about their body, how do they feel about, their mind, how do they communicate to other people. And we're also looking for the magical pill, because there's so many things that we can find in the pharmacy, and we think like, okay, that can actually solve our problems,
Exactly.
quickly, and then we can go back and you know party or do all kind of thing without having to sit down. So what do you think about this quick fix that we see in that is part of the health health industry as well, where you have a pill to lose weight.
Yeah.
I mean, a pill to lose weight, a pill to sleep, a pill to so how do you manage that as a fitness a person, but also as a nutritionist when you work with people? Because I
Mhm.
must say they're probably expecting a quick fix when they come to you.
Oh yeah, I mean that's well, everyone expects a quick fix just because how society has caught us in that mindset. Like you said, there's a pill for everything. There's instant gratification in our lives, no matter what. I mean, just open a phone and you can make a click of a button and receive what you desire. Um, for a actual tangible thing. Uh, that doesn't mean that you can change yourself with the click of a button with a pill.
Mm-hmm.
And I think anyone that approaches weight loss or wellness or even just life growth on a grander scale, you have to realize, like, if everyone if there was a quick fix, everyone would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
and you can kind of wrap your head around this. Like, it might be a quick fix, but it's a quick temporary fix.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I personally believe in creating lasting change, and that with lasting change, it takes effort,
Mm-hmm.
and especially it's a daily practice. Nothing will be a quick fix for a long term, because if you're looking for a quick fix, most likely you're going to revert back to the old way, because your body's going to adapt to that quick fix. And like I mentioned before, like, we are very smart. Our bodies are very smart, and the body will know if it's being tricked in some sort of way over time. That's why so many people that have gone on diets, they lose weight really quick and they gain it back. So the mentality you have to go into um, any sort of wellness or overall, life plan is that this is going to be my new lifestyle. This is I want to create a lifestyle, not just something that I can fit into my current life. You have to be willing to reformat the life, and it's through doing simple, healthy habits. I truly believe so. It doesn't have to be as complex as we make it, because I think a lot of people are hesitant about it because they're holding on to who they know they are right now. It's really hard for them to picture themselves with a different lifestyle, doing different things, especially if they like some of the stuff that they're doing. So it's really about, in my opinion, it's about intertwining those things. But at the same time, it's about always being open, because if you're resistant to change because this is the way you like to do it, this is the way it's always been done, then you're never going to be able to fully get to that other point that you desire. Especially when it comes to weight loss, you have to be really willing and open to trying new things and to seeing things in a new way. And I stay always open as much as I can. If I learn something before, I'm still not set that that's the best way. I can, maybe a couple of years down the line or even a couple months down the line, I find a better way of doing it. But I think it's about staying open and realizing that it's a new lifestyle. There's no quick fix to a new lifestyle. You can make simple fixes, like as in we switch, your sleeping pattern, and those are, but it's going to take time for your body to adapt no matter what, because the body the body just doesn't work like that, whether you want to or not. And most people actually, if they want a quick fix, that maybe it is possible to lose a lot of weight rather quickly, but it really depends on how much time you're willing to give to it. So a quick fix will take a lot of effort. Do you have all hours of your day to focus on losing weight and being very, very disciplined? Sure, you can get a quick fix, but if you're thinking about a quick fix with no work, that isn't possible.
And that's the one that we really outrage about is people who want this quick fix without any effort. And that's what's gonna you can't have it all. You have to give, you have to make an effort, you have to make some sacrifice to get something. So we have a comment here. Maria is based in Queensland, in Australia. She
Yeah.
used to be my personal trainer when I was working in Adelaide. So she's into wellness, and so she's
Awesome.
talking about slowing down and feeling, the feeling in your body is the best service you
Hmm.
can do to yourself. I think you mentioned that.
Oh yeah.
And and
That's
and that's really where we struggle, because everything is all about speed. It's all about getting getting done, especially when we talk about the professional environment.
mhm.
It's about competition, it's about pushing ourselves with it's even sometimes difficult, because people think that when you want to take this time to relax, to take care of yourself, it's kind of a loser mentality, which is not really the case. You understand that you need to do that to replenish yourself and to get the right energy to be able to continue. So let's
No,
let's have
agreed.
a break, and we will come back and continue this conversation.
Perfect.
For those listening, and Maria, thank you for tuning in. Please continue to engage and ask question. We really appreciate your participation. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
Join former White House chef Marty Mangello as he brings to life colorful stories about America's presidents and first families that have occupied 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest.
Is when screaming guests are lit on fire inside the White House. So I know that everyone's thinking like, what did he just say?
It's time to be informed and entertained with Inside the President's Cabinet. Visit the website today at www.insidethepresidentscabinet.com.
So we are back. We are back with Philip, and we are talking about wellness, how to form healthy habit to reach our goals. And it's just on time, because there's a lot of struggle, especially as we are in lockdown or just coming out of a lockdown. And my question to you, Philip, is how did you manage being being a personal trainer, being a wellness expert? How did you manage this period with people being locked down, and then social distancing and all of that? So how did you manage to keep going and keep people positive and working on on their fitness?
Well, to be honest, I took a break from the wellness aspect of doing like focusing on others at that point when the pandemic hit.
Mm-hmm.
And but the thing is, when the pandemic hit, I was I felt more me than I've ever felt before because it didn't throw me off.
Mm-hmm.
I I've have the habits that I've been doing for over, the past couple years that have kept me grounded. So when the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic came, it I continued in that manner while everyone else kind of went into that, what do we do? We have more time. We have to look at ourselves. We have to, really kind of listen in different ways that we didn't do before. So for me personally, I thrived because I was prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So my like kind of thought process on this is why are people not taking this same time to maybe see the beauty that could come out of a pandemic, that could come out of lockdown, to get to know yourself better. And I think a lot of people, as far as the fitness goes, I don't think that people have a problem with being active. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's the way they approach um, the lifestyle as a whole. That's where, if someone wants to lose weight or regain control, is if you don't have these kind of this routine set up of, if you're not on a good sleep schedule, if you're not taking the time set aside for you each day, if you're not eating healthy things, then those are all going to play the most important part of it. Sure, I think a lot of people maybe could have used a coach during that time in their life, but for me personally, I listened to myself. And by listening to myself, it guided me to going to Hawaii. And I lived on a farm for 5 months, and I learned how to grow food. And by listening to myself and allowing that to guide me to that place, I have been saying this a lot. I wasn't just growing food there, I was growing myself. I really learned a lot about myself by taking that time. And I think I'm a better coach for it, to be honest. Coming back when I came back around the holidays of last year, I decided to pick things back up with my coaching. And I think that was really needed for me to kind of get to the next step. So this is just a prime example of taking care of yourself, and then it'll benefit the rest. If you do that, if you listen to what you need first, it's going to feed off and to help others in the grand scheme of things. So when people talk about being selfish, that could be coming that that could be something that I would have looked at before as like, oh, I'm just being selfish, I'm going to Hawaii. But no, actually I was doing it because I was listening to what my body needed. And that's kind of, now I see a lot of the people that I coach now are of running into similar situations where I've gained that knowledge when I was in Hawaii. So even though I wasn't there helping others, throughout the pandemic, the whole pandemic, I believe, I did what I needed to do, and don't think I'd be the person I am today without it.
And that's the thing with the pandemic, is that the first reaction was very negative, and then you just realize when you step back and you calm down that there's a lot to learn from, and especially learn about ourselves, things that
Mm-hmm.
we can't do when there's a lot of noise, a lot of disruption, a lot of things happening. We don't have the time to really know who we are and be aware of, the how we come out and what are really the trigger that actually we bring into the world, and that's very important. There's a question from Maria again here. She's
Yeah.
asking, what would you say are the cornerstone habits of a healthy lifestyle?
Okay. Yeah. Uh, a great sleep routine. Number one, I would say, is uh, getting the proper amount of rest and sticking to a schedule of that every day. I think a lot of people, they're lacking one of the most important pieces of the puzzle by just not getting enough rest. How can you be your best self if you're waking up tired? There's just there's no great starting point to your day if you're waking up tired. But if you are waking up rested, and you're going to be waking up full of energy, full of life, and being able to tackle, your day in a more positive way. So I believe the main cornerstone is the sleep schedule, and not just doing it, 5 days a week just because you got to get up for work, doing it every single day, because then your body adapts to that schedule. And number two is a great morning routine. I believe, like I mentioned before, is taking the time to slow down and listen to yourself. I, I personally, I wake up sunrise every day, and I go out and I journal, and it's really a self-reflection of how I'm feeling, what's going on in my life. Do I need to realign and go somewhere else, and as far as like how I'm thinking or how I'm processing things? So taking the time for you is the number two thing. Is, you got the rest down, take the time for you, but don't allow the noise in. We need to think for ourselves. We need to slow down and work at our own pace. So I don't even touch my phone for the first hour of the day. I believe a lot of people, that's the first thing they grab, and they open up into that world of, hey, everyone else is kind of feeding you this noise and this energy. How can you actually listen to yourself and work at your pace? So by not opening that and kind of easing into your day, you can kind of feel the vibe of like how you operate. And then also, by not allowing that noise in, it's allowing you to listen, like I mentioned before, of how important that is. So those two things paired with a healthy diet. I mean, it's the same thing as you're getting rest so you can be energized. That the healthy diet is what's going to fuel you throughout the rest of the day. So you wake up rested. Do you want to feed your car not gasoline? You want to feed it some dirt gasoline or something? Probably not. So a cornerstone in my opinion, especially in regards to weight loss, is a healthy diet. And I'm big into the whole food plant-based diet. I haven't ate any meat or dairy or eggs or anything like that for 4 years. So when I coach people, it's not about getting them to get to the level I'm at, really. It's about being open to having more of those foods into their diet, as far as the plants and the vegetables, and less processed foods, to be honest. So I believe those three things are really, really important, and really creating a boundaries. A lot of boundaries are very important with throughout your day, and where you're is something draining your energy, or is it boosting your energy? And I think that's just the best way to look at things. Evaluate your day. Is this a priority, or can this be pushed aside? Because I think we also think that we always think, I think, that is that this has to be done now, or this person's depending on me for this or that. But at the end of the day, I think we're overextending ourselves in many areas of our life throughout our day, especially with our interactions that are actually draining us, and then not leaving us the time to take care of ourselves, to make the decisions that are best for us, to eat the things that are best for us. So think about what you're spending your energy on, and reevaluate it. And that all comes from what I said, is taking that time for you. You'll be able to notice it more once you kind of take that time to slow down and really kind of just self-evaluate and analyze.
Yeah, so that's I hope, Maria, you got, those 4 points. So great sleep, get enough rest, the morning routine, which is very important, and healthy diet, and create those boundaries, through your day to really focus on is important for you. And one thing that I wanted to ask you, because I see that you have several, function. You're a model, you do publicity, you also do fitness. So with all of that, how do you integrate all of this? Because I know that, modeling can be can be actually very high,
Yeah.
high energy and high, very demanding,
Yeah.
and everything that goes with commercial marketing. And so how do you balance all of that?
I mean, honestly, I balance it through those habits, because
Mm-hmm.
if I have those habits, in place, and um, I can take on the rest of my day in a much better way. As
Mm-hmm.
far as the modeling goes, I honestly, I look at it a little differently than when I started about 4 years ago. I started,
Mm-hmm.
but I look at it in a way now that it's just like, it's a great time to me. I'm around people, and you said it's high energy. I feed off
Mm-hmm.
people's energy. So
Mm-hmm.
when I come together with for a shoot or something like that, I'm actually I'm open, I'm taking care of me. So when I go into that shoot, I can bring my best self, but also absorb, other people's energy in a way that's going to
Mm-hmm.
boost me even more. So it kind of actually recharges me a bit more to be in doing those things, because but at the same time, I think a lot of what you asked, a lot of the habits that I formed came from evaluating my life and realizing I can't operate this certain way with all this
Mm-hmm.
energy coming at me without these habits in place. So that was really where I started creating that sleep schedule, because I don't have a 9 to 5 job where someone's demanding me to be at the office or to do these things. So I have to take control and give myself some sort of, routine or schedule and structure to my day, to where actually I feel in control of it. Because if
Mm-hmm.
not, I can just, no one's getting me to wake up. I maybe not have anything to do today. Then by the time you get to those high energy things and you're not taking care of you, you're not even going to be able to be present for them. You're not going to be able to absorb the good that they're actually offering you. So it
Mm-hmm.
really is the habits allow me to do all the things. And I mean, I have a lot of energy to give. That's why I won't, am passionate about coaching people, because
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where, by me recharging myself every day allows me to kind of be and give in that way. If I didn't do that, it would be more of like, oh, I'm depleted, I'm depleted, I'm depleted.
Mm-hmm. 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 So where do you fit the fitness activity? Because I've seen is it in your routine, your morning routine, or
Uh,
um
no, I do, well, I do stretching in the morning. I do like some yoga for about
mm-hmm.
15, 20 minutes in the morning. So basically, just to give you an idea of my morning routine, just in case anyone's kind of listening and wants a kind of a structure, is I don't
Mm-hmm.
touch my phone. I wake up, I go to the beach. I mean, and if I wasn't at the beach, I'd go outside into a quiet place, and I journal for about 15, 20 minutes. Then I do yoga for about 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, and I'll also, before I do those things, I make my bed. So it's like organization first and foremost, not touching the phone, starting it off at my pace. Oh yeah. And another one thing is like hydration. I hydrate as soon as I wake up. I hydrate about 32 ounces of water. Just think we've gone 7 to 9 hours without any water in our system. So hydration is a key factor in all this as well, in helping digestion. And when I do the journaling, it's activating my mind. When I do the yoga, it's activating my body. So it's like I'm easing into these things. I used to do more of a weight strength training kind of thing in the morning sometimes, and I'll do it if I need to, but I will usually do it after those things because I don't like to just jump into something that's really high, like intense. I want to go, and this is just for me. I like to work. I know what pace I like to work at. So what I usually do is in the afternoon, after I do all those things in the morning, I'll, take on my day. But in the afternoon, I'll go to the gym or do some sort of other activity like swimming that's a little bit more intense. So I kind of have that a little bit of a balance in that way is, hey, I'm going to do something in the afternoon that's going to boost my energy again. Because I always say, like, if I'm feeling tired, it's usually probably from sitting around. Like if I have a lot of different things going on and I'm working in front of the computer, it's probably because my body's just comfortable sitting around. It's not because I did a lot of strenuous activity today. So then I go and that's why I do the gym in the afternoon, early evening. So it boosts me and I can actually, continue on with the rest of my day. So that's kind of how I operate. I think for most people, the best thing to do is just find out when you can fit it in. I know I have a different schedule than most people, but the best time to fit it in is, and I always say maybe the morning is best for most people, because if you have a busy day ahead and by the end of the day that you're going to be tired, then you're most likely setting yourself up for failure. So why not set yourself up for success by doing it and getting it out of the way?
So I mean, so obviously everybody, you work with different people, so you've basically put some personal, plan and personal, program for them. But being in the US, I mean, just like I was saying before, people are really, it's really about time, getting.
Yeah.
So how do you balance that with your clients, and how do you basically, what are the tools and strategies that that have been working with them? If I can ask
Oh,
that
okay. Like
question.
as far as like helping them find more time, like and
Exactly, yeah.
harness their time. Yeah. Well, that's the first thing like I do is like when I work with my clients is I get them to kind of write out their whole schedule for me, and I want to see how they operate. So from the time you wake up to the time, your work schedule, your work routine, your leisure routine, your night routine. And most times I think people, and that's why I go back to the boundaries thing. I think most times people are doing things that they don't necessarily need to do that are not boosting their energy. It's draining them. And if you're doing a lot of things that are draining you just unknowingly, most people are operating in this way. It's unknowingly because we're just used to doing them. And we think that this is actually, it's nice, whatever. Someone might think that this is what I have to do, or this is what I enjoy doing. But I think that the number one thing here is if anyone is looking for a life change, as far as like, you want to lose weight or just get healthy or have a major goal in mind, you have to look at your schedule as a whole and see what you're spending your time with. If you're spending a lot of time on social media, if you're spending a lot of time in front of the TV, if you're spending a lot of time engaging in things that aren't leading you towards your goals, then there's time right there to take back. So that I'd have to actually say is that it really depends on the person, but it all comes down to you really connecting with your goal. So say like you were my client, the first thing I would say is, what do you want and why? But I don't want you to just spit out an answer like, oh, I just want to look better or this and that. I want you to connect with, if your goal is weight loss, I want you to connect with something deeper than that. So if you connect with something deeper, like, oh, I want to be there for my kids. I know the way I'm eating is unhealthy. I might not be there for them if I continue operating this way. You really connect to it internally on a grander scale. That's what's going to be able to, keep you going as far as, hey, this is time better spent to do this. Does this align with what I actually just connected with? So harnessing your time is an easy thing if you're connected to your goal. If you're not connected to your goal, it's easier to waste your time on Netflix or some sort of activity that might not be, geared towards actually helping you achieve the goal. But if you're really connected and you continue to remind yourself, then you can grab that time in these different little time spots throughout the day. Most people have the time. They really do. They don't want to give up the time, or they're lazy. Or if they do have the time, they're not organized enough to see where the time can be. That's why I say, if you have that sleep schedule intact, this is the best way to look at it. I think most people waste their time from the time they get off work to the time they go to bed. So if they're staying up late hours, doing some sort of leisure activity, but they could be sleeping, then they could be getting up earlier and then being able to use that morning time towards their goal. So it's all about finding that little time slot in your schedule, and it all depends on who what your schedule is like and how you're operating. But we all have the time. It's just, are you connected to the goal? Are you willing to give up this for that? Most people, they're not. That's where the excuse will come in, that they don't have the time. So and if just to go back a little bit further about what you asked about the habits, or what are the pillars of a healthy lifestyle. It's surrounding yourself with people too that are like-minded, that are going to push you towards your goals, that are a support system for you. If you're surrounding yourself with people that are doing activities that don't align with your goal all the time, then how are you going to be able to pull yourself out of that? Because you're going to be leaning towards them for support, but they can't support you if that's not their goal. So I think there's a lot of beauty in finding that community, or even a coach, to help guide you, especially at the starting point, because without it, it's difficult to see where you're wasting your time. It's difficult to see all these things. It makes it tougher, to be honest, if you don't have the right support system, because it'll be easier to just say, hey, I'll go do that, or I'll go do this, rather than doing what you desire.
And I like, the fact that you said that, we have to connect to some goals, because a lot of people don't actually have goals. They just live their life and react to whatever is coming into their life. So they don't really realize that, by simply, sitting down, setting those goals, it can make a huge impact in their life. And that's something that is, and I think that's something that the pandemic actually help people to stop and to really understand, where do I go with that, and what
Yeah.
do I want, and what are my goals now that, I'm, here. So
Yeah.
and I think that's been a good thing, for that, to force people to stop, to think, and start setting goals for themselves, not only, but also for the communities. And so really good thing for thinking and
hmm
shifting,
Yeah.
as far as, yeah. So that's
It's
really
about taking it all is about taking, like, again, it goes all back to taking that time for you, so you
mm-hmm,
can kind of evaluate what your goals are. So that's the missing link there with most people, is taking the time, but taking the quiet time,
mm-hmm,
the time that is away from all the noise, away from all the fast paced, life that you're living outside of that, because that is when it's going to be able to speak with, like, what you want. It's going to
mm-hmm,
speak to what you might need at that time. So that's really the foundation for wellness, is taking the time for you.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna have another break, and we'll come back for the last part of the
Okay.
show. For those just joining us, I'm hosting Patrick today, and we're talking about wellness. So let's have a break, and we'll be back to continue this very insightful conversation. Don't go anywhere.
Ways to be healthier. There are many different things in our lives that contribute to being healthy or being healthier. In this video, I'm going to go over 7 major factors that contribute to leading a healthier life. Number 1, eat better. So I think this one's kind of a given. We have all at some point seen some reference to research that links poor nutrition to many diseases, a lesser quality of life, and a shorter lifespan. Good quality foods such as fruits and vegetables provide our bodies with energy, vitamins, minerals, and fiber, which in turn enhance proper bodily function. Number 2, exercise. Research has shown that exercise can decrease your risk of many diseases and enhance your quality of life. It can also improve your mental health, strengthen muscles and bones, help to control your weight, prevent falls, get better sleep, improve memory, give you more energy, and most importantly, increase your chances of living longer. Number 3, move more. Just moving your body can improve your health. With the advancements in technology, sedentary lifestyles have gotten greater and greater. Phones, tablets, and being able to watch TV anywhere, anytime has brought everyday bodily movement to an all-time low. Moving your body more can improve circulation, oxygen use, heart health, and sleep. Number 4, sleep better. Lack of sleep has been linked to an increased risk of many diseases as well as lack of productivity. Good quality sleep has been shown to improve memory, decrease stress, increase creativity, and increase athletic performance. Number 5, spend time with people. Lack of social connections has been shown to increase stress, impair immune system function, and cardiovascular function. Having strong quality connections with other people improves self-confidence, mental health, and energy levels. Number 6, exercise your brain. When we're young, going to school and learning math, science, and history, our brain is being challenged and stimulated regularly. As we get older and get set into a regular routine and exercise our brains less and less, we process information more slowly and our working memory diminishes. Your brain benefits from learning new things, taking part in new activities, and interacting with other people. Your brain, like muscles and joints, needs to be exercised. Number 7, decrease stress. Stress can cause fatigue, lead to sleep problems, overeating, alcohol abuse, and depression, all of which can negatively affect your health. Learning to manage stress in your life is a must. Reducing stress in your life can improve energy levels, improve your ability to focus on tasks, improve your relationships with others, and most of all, severely increase happiness. Living a healthier life leads to living a happier life. Self-reflection is a powerful tool to improving your life. So take a look at each of these 7 factors and see which ones you can improve on. In the future, I'll be posting videos giving you some ideas on how to improve on each of these to help you out.
So we are back. We are back with Philip, and as you could see from the video, we're talking about wellness and how we can improve our life. And Philip, I wanted to ask you because I mean, all those information are there. There's so many experts. There's so many material. Why do you think people are still not following? Why? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, no, I do. It's because it's overwhelming. I mean, to be honest, that's the thing is there's too much. It's information overload. So I've been there.
Hmm.
I get that. I get that a lot. Even when I'm trying to learn something new, there's just so much information out there. You don't even know where to begin. So then you hit a breakdown. So I think that's you're not clear. So
Hmm.
if there's too much information out there and you're overwhelmed, how can you be clear enough to know which direction to go in? So just to give you a little example of like how I kind of structure my coaching is a lot of the things I spoke about with the schedule, creating these routines, that's the number one thing I start people off with, those simple, like, the sleep stuff and trying to harness the little morning switches, like routine wise. That's to give you a sense of control. So I think most people that want to change and that are, unhealthy or et cetera, want a life change, they are feeling a bit out of control and they are overwhelmed. So if you're overwhelmed and out of control, how can I make someone in control? Let's get these habits down to where you actually feel more in control of your day from the start. When you feel more in control, that's when you can get more clear on what you need to do. But if you're not feeling control of your life, you're never going to be able to get to that clarity of, hey, this information actually speaks to me, because you're just it's coming in as noise, so you're not able to absorb it because you're not feeling a sense of control. But when you have the control, then that's when you can gain the clarity. And then when you have the clarity over time, that's when you can get the confidence in yourself to actually that you can make the goal come to life. And that's my way I work. I guess the best way to put it is I give someone the control and then I help them find the clarity of what works best for them. I don't think there's a one size fits all. And you know why also I'd have to say why most people, they have all this information out there. They want connection. People want connection. They don't want to be just handed more information. They want actually someone guiding them, someone in it with them. When you're not in it alone, that's when the magic happens. I truly believe that. I feel so much more comfort and at ease and being able to absorb when I'm actually doing something with someone. When you're facing, these changes alone, it gets overwhelming. And you just kind of don't even know what is right anymore. You second guess yourself all the time. So that's where, I believe why I kind of structured my coaching the way it is. And I call myself the Wellness Wingman, is I'm a support system for people. I don't really want them to just handle this whole change alone. I want them to feel like they can lean on me when they need to. I think most people really desire that at the core. We are human. We desire connection. And when you have connection, especially maybe to someone that has more knowledge to you, then you're able to absorb it better than to just read something off a screen and actually be able to take action.
And that's powerful what you're saying, getting those connection, because sometimes, especially when we talk about, losing weight, we think that it's just a mechanical thing, it's just, you decide, you change your diet, you change this, and but we forget about the emotional part, the emotional
Mm-hmm.
part that is really important. And that's where the connection is coming, is that, we need this emotional connection that's going to sustain us and help us to really reach those goals that we're setting for ourselves and keep going and have this sustainability in everything and the clarity in everything that we do. And that's really really important. Wow, what a great, what a great exchange, a great conversation, lots of learning. There's obviously a lot more to be learned from you, but we're getting close to the end now. And my question is, what do you think is what message do you want to leave the audience with as far as, wellness is concerned? Something that you feel like, they should know, and it's gonna help them uh, to stick to, or start, to look
Yeah.
at wellness as, an integral part of their life, because I think that's what it has to be, and it's not for a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've kind of operated in this way a while. Is think about what drives us to do certain things. It's usually something that happens to us. Like
Mm-hmm.
you said, we're reacting to these different things. So say you have a heart attack. Well, you react to it by changing your ways, and because the pain has caused you to change your ways. You had that pain, the risk, so you change.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think one of the things with wellness is if you can kind of place in your mind that the pain is going to be this way if you don't change the way you're at now, then it becomes more clear of what how to operate on a grander scale. So you have to place the pain that you might be feeling, and the pain can come in the form of, you know, possibly health related issues, but also the money you'll spend on, different, well, healthcare, all these different things that really kind of add up into, causing you more pain. Uh, you can prevent all that. That's where wellness comes. It's all about prevention. And if you kind of form these habits, you're you're setting yourself up to feel good now and to feel good later. And I don't know about you, but I want a quality of my life. I really want to feel that. I want to feel everything, and I think that's what most people yearn for is quality. So if you can put it in that way, is you're you might not feel this now, from the habits you're doing, but you're going to feel it later. It might make it a little bit easier for someone to navigate towards starting to form the habits of change. But to be honest, the number one thing that kind of aligns with that is asking yourself, is does this if I'm taking this action, like what I'm doing today or eating this thing, is that navigating towards love, or is that not navigating towards love? Do I love myself? Am I going to feed myself these good things? That's all. That's a big part of it, is self-love. Like, look at the things that you're doing in your life, and ask yourself, is if I really love myself, or am I giving myself the love that I desire? And most times it makes it more clear that we need to do things that we haven't been doing before, and that's a really big part of wellness. I believe that is a missing piece, is um, everything you put in your mind, the way you treat yourself, that's wellness. And that's what we need to start harnessing more, because when you look at wellness, well, if you're not just looking at wellness from a diet standpoint or from a fitness standpoint, you're looking at it as in how I treat myself, that that makes it a lot more clear on how to operate. And I think that's what we need to start doing, is look within, look how we're treating ourselves, and adjust appropriately, because the fact that we are all alive, that is a gift. And are we taking this gift and smashing it, or are we taking good care of it? That's what we need to look at.
Mhm. I like that, and looking at awareness as the love, and awareness is about, do we love ourselves, and then
Mhm.
always ask ourselves this question: whatever we do, are we doing it out of love, or are we doing it out of hate for ourselves? And
Mhm.
that's a powerful process to look at. So, how do people get in contact with you if they want to continue
Yeah.
this conversation, or even, get your services?
Yeah.
So, how do they
If
do that?
If anyone's interested in contacting me, my website, philipmangan.com, you can go to it. They offer a free 30-minute coaching call.
Mm-hmm.
So you can sign up on the website. I also offer a free ebook on the website on how to build a healthy morning routine. So you can download that for free. And if you're interested in just learning more additionally, on my Instagram page, Philip Anthony Mangan, I do a lot of my teaching on there, as far as like just giving tips, and on outlook of life and nutrition, on habits to form. So those are the two main sources of being able to contact me, and just shoot me a message if you're interested. Like I said, it's a free 30-minute coaching call, and no harm done if it doesn't work out. But I'm definitely help guide you in some sort of way. I guarantee that.
Mm-hmm. It has been fantastic. I've learned so much during this
Thank you.
hour. Real greatness engineered here, and I hope that it's the same for the audience. Please don't hesitate if you have any question, or if you want to talk to Philip, just to know exactly, have more information about what it does. Please, connect with him. You can go on his website or on his Instagram page And you mentioned that it is Anthony Mangan. So please get in contact with him and get to know a little bit more about about wellness, and how you can get this clarity, and and be look at wellness as something that will help you to love yourself more than anything. So thank you, Philip, for all of that, and
Thank you so much.
it's for your time. And I really appreciate you, sharing all of this with the audience. And it's gonna be a good night for me. Actually, I was actually laughing when you were talking about your routine, where people will actually go direct to their phone. I'm part of them, so that's something I need to look at as well, and start to think about my routine. So thank you for
Yeah,
that.
you're welcome.
and
You're
uh,
welcome.
and I wish you to have a great day and a great weekend. Thank
Well,
you
thank you
very
so much.
much.
I appreciate you having me on today, and you have a great one as well. Okay.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.
You too. Bye bye.